The Premier League was a very interesting one at the weekend. Round 17 was a blast, and I did predict that we were going to see some funny score lines, and we got lots of that, lots of that actually. But anyways, without wasting much time, let's go into the talk of this video. The recap, talking about the best talking points from the weekend. I'm starting with you, Victor. Leeds beat Crystal Palace in a scoreline that not even three of us combined could have predicted. It pretty much shocked everyone. What did you make of that game and particularly the scoreline?
Yeah, it really was a proper bolt from the blue, especially because if you look at things, Glasner actually rested a bunch of his starters in the Conference League in midweek and sacrificed the top 8 position there. As for this game, Leeds really dominated all of the important stats, with the exception of things like hitting the woodwork and fouls and offsides and errors leading to goal. We're not used to seeing Palace so vulnerable, but I would say kudos to Farkas, lads. They really showed up and took advantage of the situation. They've now put some daylight between them and the drop zone. They're actually 6 points ahead of West Ham, who are the first below the red line. For Leeds, the next game is against an AFCON weakened Sunderland, and recent results will definitely have instilled some belief in them that they can stay up.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll see about that. And moving on to you, Max. I don't know how you feel answering this question about Liverpool, but Liverpool are now looking better. You know, they've actually put up a decent run of results in the past couple game weeks, and now, you know, they beat Brighton over the weekend. But the bittersweet impact from that game is losing Isak, and he's more than likely to miss almost the end of the season, if not the whole season. So the question is, how big of an impact would that have on the Reds' ambitions this season?
I mean, probably even a good impact for the Liverpool, because we all saw that Slot used Isak a lot, and I would probably say that Ekitike is much more important for the team and he gives much more for the club, so probably not letting Isak play and start Ekitike and let him play all 90 minutes will probably even be good for Liverpool. But at some point, if Ekitike gets injured as well, it's gonna be really tough for the squad.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. And back to you, Victor. I remember less than a month ago, we were talking about Villa being the most informed side in Europe. And since we said that they are still yet to lose, and now they beat Manchester United at the weekend, and they continue to show their strong form once again. But the question is, how long do you think they can keep this up for?
I mean, not only did they not lose, they're not even drawing, they're winning all the time. But I think it's about to get harder for them in the next 2 games. It's Chelsea and Arsenal, both away from home. Personally, as much as I would love to see it, I don't think they are winning both of these games to keep this incredible run going. But if they get 4 points, especially if they beat Arsenal again, things will get even more interesting at the top. They already have a nice cushion between themselves and Chelsea. There's 7 points, so losing to Maresca's team would not be the end of the world. But I need to say this again. I don't think Villa are winning the title, but they might cost Arsenal the title again.
Villa might cost Arsenal the title again. That's an interesting statement. But anyways, over to you, Mark. Arsenal managed to scrap a 1-0 win away at Everton. It was not the best of games, but at the end of the day, 3 points is probably all that matters at this point. Do you think, from the perspective of a side chasing to win the title, is that a result the Gunners should be happy to take?
I mean, any win is a win, and it's 3 points. If you really want to win a title, you definitely have to win the games like this. And this is probably a green light for the club in general, because last season, in this type of head-to-heads, they used to have draws and even lose sometimes. So moving forward, if they can keep the momentum and play the same level, even if you have a bad day, still manage to get the 3 points, it can probably lead them to the title, but I'm still not so sure about that. So let's see how it goes.
It was a little bit more convincing than against Wolves, though, we have to say that.
Yeah, true. It was more convincing than against Wolves, actually, fair enough. And still talking about the title, Victor, Manchester City temporarily moved to the top of the table before Arsenal played to Everton. And if you look at the fixture schedule, City play lots of their upcoming games before Arsenal. So it means at many points they would be above Arsenal provided they win. But the question now is, how long do you think it would take for City to be permanently top of the table and not temporarily anymore?
I find it very interesting that you said permanently. Makes me think you're kind of losing hope for this title
No,
challenge,
no,
perhaps.
I'm just being objective.
No, I mean, yeah, permanently has that very strong connotation to it. In all seriousness, though, yes, it does seem that City will have some interesting chances, but what's also more important is they have a more approachable schedule this festive season. I do expect them to go top at some point soon and stay there at the end of a match day, because they have Forest and Sunderland away up next, with Chelsea and Brighton at home after that. So the games against the tougher sides are at the Etihad. So yeah, going top before the FA Cup weekend, probably. Whether they stay there is a different question. Arsenal have the majority of their tough opponents at home in the second half of the campaign, which is obviously a big advantage. But I still need to factor in the fact that you said permanently, and I'm gonna hold you to that, mate.
Oh, I mean, you did say Arsenal will not be top of the league by Christmas, and you were wrong. So I'll be happy to tell you once again that you'll
Yeah,
be
true,
wrong.
true.
Anyways, moving on to yet another London club, Max. Chelsea have only one win in their last 5 league games. Do you think it's only a matter of time before they slip out of the top four?
I'd say probably it even happens next weekend, because they're facing pretty tough Aston Villa, and I'm pretty sure that Liverpool wins against Wolves. Everybody win against Wolves, so it probably has to be next weekend. But yeah, obviously, I just feel like Chelsea are doing bad business every single transfer window. They sign players, they're not fitting, then they have injured players, and they don't really have squad depth. Just feels strange. And now they have UCL coming up, playoffs, so it will be pretty tough for them to compete in both competitions.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, Chelsea do have squad depth. It's just not quality depth. They do have a lot of players, just not quality. But yeah, that was round 17. It was pretty interesting, pretty exciting. And just like we're all saying in this recap, we expect that the title race is going to eat up in the coming weeks, and the table will also take a different look in the coming weeks. And of course, we'll be here to discuss all the action as they unfold.